Friday evening, Prenzlauer Berg, Danziger Straße, 50. Today I would like to share a rather personal video. Since 2015, my husband Michael Rost and I have been hosting a storytelling evening called the bEAR, True Stories Told Live in Berlin. The venue is the Cultural Zentrum Danziger 50, and this is an event house of the nonprofit cultural organization Prenzlauer Berg, founded in 1990. Even though I want to present the storytelling evening today, I can't help but tell you something about the building. Behind this building is a school, and its former director had his residency here. Hermann Blankenstein designed this. He was Berlin's city architect from 1872 until 1896 and was responsible for the construction of about 120 school buildings, hospitals, orphanages, market halls, the cattle and slaughterhouse, and many other municipal buildings. You can see from his buildings that he was trained at Schenkel's Bau Academy, the Building Academy. Blankenstein's buildings all show a similar style. He mostly used red bricks and prefabricated decorative elements as material for a simple and clear design language. The facade and the staircase, therefore, are listed as landmarks, even though the facade is hardly recognizable from the outside, as you see in the bottom part. We will take a look at the staircase on the way up. So it's all about personal storytelling, and usually every third Friday evening of the month, there is an open stage. This means audience is invited to tell a 5-minute story that they've personally experienced based on the theme of the evening. So no fairy tales or fiction here. It's based on the Moth, which has been producing storytelling events for over 25 years very successfully in the US. Our event is bilingual, yet most of the stories are told in English. Apparently, sharing personal stories is more common in the Anglo-Saxon world than it is in Germany. Tonight's sold out, and it's a sign that life has returned to normal after COVID. The evening is usually moderated by myself, Dyane Neiman. There is live music, and 8 people have the opportunity to come on stage. Unlike science and poetry slams, it's not about being the best. This is not a competition, but the audience does vote for their most popular story of the night. And then once a year in June, there's what we call the Eve of the Champs, where the favorites from the whole year present a story once again.
Wow, there's a lot of people here, James. Where were you the last 2 years?
Now you can see the audience's favorite story of this evening. Now, the picture quality could be better, but unfortunately, we couldn't dim the very strong stage lights. If you want to drop by for a show yourself, you'll find a link in the video description. Have fun!
Please welcome Sherzad. Let me just get you. Okay. You can make it higher.
All right.
Because I'm a little bit short.
Yes, thank you.
Good.
I wasn't expected to be here, but it's all right.
It's wonderful.
I am super
Have
excited.
fun.
Yes. Thanks. I don't see you guys, but yeah, happy to be here. So it's a warm morning, Monday morning, 2008 in New York. I just arrived a few days ago on a work and travel program. It's a travel that lets young people to go to the States and work for a summertime, make some money, and then go back. The problem was that the company that sent me there screwed me over, so when I arrived, there was no job waiting for me. So that morning, I was changing into a uniform of this little coffee shop on 6th Avenue in Manhattan. The thing is that I had money only for the next 2 weeks, and I had to urgently find a job. And I didn't have a job, and I decided to ask people who had jobs in New York how they found one. And they gave me advice. They said that you just walk around Manhattan, you look around, and whenever you see some place which says help wanted, you walk in and you say, I want a job. I can do whatever you're asking for. So that's exactly what I did. So that morning, that very morning, I was walking around Manhattan and I see this coffee shop. This is the first coffee shop I stumbled upon, and it says help wanted. So I walk in, I say I want the job. So the interview was surprisingly easy and fast. So the manager asked me, do you know how to operate the coffee machine? I said yes. And then he said, do you know how to operate the cash register and the POS? And I said confidently, without hesitation, yes. And then he said, all right, your shift starts in 5 minutes, we'll change. You see, I wasn't expecting that answer because I thought I would start maybe next week. I would have time to go and Google things, maybe ask some people. But here I was changing into the uniform of the coffee shop in Manhattan, starting my shift. And I stand behind the counter and the doors open and the first customer walks in. So the manager looks at me and nods. I know exactly what's expecting of me, right? So I say, morning, what can I get you today? And the guy says, one black coffee and one bagel with cream cheese. And I'm a little bit nervous at the order because where I come from Tajikistan. It's a small country in Central Asia, right? In 2008, we were still just recovering from the civil war in the 90s. So I didn't catch up on what Americans eat yet, right? So bagels are something we don't eat. So I kind of figured that black coffee is just that, like coffee. So I pressed the buttons, something started working on the coffee machine, and then bagel, I looked at the menu on the wall, so it was the first thing on the left corner, and I just found it at the counter and I just handed it over to him. Now it was time to operate the cash register and charge him, right? So at this moment, I just want to make a note. So as a product manager, I should say that whoever invented that machine had no regard for user experience, right? So I was there are all these buttons, I pressed some buttons and some numbers popped up. The guy was in a hurry, so he didn't care if it was correct. I'm sure it was incorrect. He paid me whatever, and he just left, right? And I was like, phew, my first customer. It's a win, right? The first one is the hardest. From that moment on, it should be easy peasy, right? Wrong. So this woman walks in, and she just walks up, and without hesitation, she says, I want one decaf latte with skim milk, then I want one plain white with half and half, and cinnamon bagel with cream cheese, right? At this moment, if I said that I was confused by the order, that would be an understatement, because I was in full panic mode, right? You see, in Tajikistan, when growing up, the only coffee I knew was Nescafe instant coffee 3-in-1. And to be fair, we also didn't have different types of milk. We had only the milk. So, if you don't know about American cuisine, so skim milk is essentially zero fat milk, and then there is a full cream milk, and half is just when you mix them both, right? So, now I know, but back then I didn't know. So I turn around, and I have no clue what to do, so I start pretending that I'm making the coffee, and thinking about what to do, like, should I ask her again? But if I ask her again, she will tell me the same thing, and I don't know what it is. So I'm pretending, then I peek back, and oh my God, I see this line. More people came in. The thing is that this order coincided with the time when Manhattan gets active and busy, so many people are behind her. The line now extends beyond the coffee shop, and I'm sure it's so long that it connects with the line in the Central Park waiting for the ferry that goes to Liberty Island. That long, right? So I don't know what to do. I'm faking, and the manager comes to my rescue. So he comes up and says, all right, go change, return the uniform, and get the hell out of here. So I was fired 16 minutes into my first job in New York. So the take-home learning for me was that fake it till they make it is actually shitty advice. But on the other hand, now I have a story about how I absolutely didn't make it in New York. Thank you very much.